The dogs are
My husband.
barking. We're
Oh,
live.
okay.
You're like, my husband, we're live. Hopefully the dogs don't bark though, but a lot of people have dogs, so they might love it so much. Hey guys, what's up? Hello, Michelle. What the what? I actually got a notification. Thank
Hey,
you. Next.
Michelle.
What's happening, you guys? Happy Monday, I hope. I hope it's a happy Monday for you guys. It's been a rough in the world. Rioting on the streets, rioting on the YouTube. Mm-mm. But we'll let some people come in, hopefully, even if they just want to lurk like me, because we're all about it. Uh,
That's what
how
we
was
do.
how was your last week? Speak truth with love.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of a blur. I can't even think of one eventful thing that's happened in the past
Yeah.
week.
Okay. Well,
Just a
that's
lot of
interesting.
rain. I know.
Oh, testicle. Thank you. I do too. I don't like it when people are late. I understand life comes up though, but I hate being late for stuff. Love you, Black Hearted.
I am late for everything,
Hmm.
everything. And so I've been on time for our stream so far. So
No,
you're
we're
welcome.
good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm driving. If you're not there on time, I'm pushing the button. I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
Black-hearted.
I'm just
Yeah, I
kidding.
would just expect you to
Hey, got
just
out.
start up without me.
I, girl. Evening. So, yeah, it's Monday. It's been a crazy week in the world. And, you know, if there's one constant around this neck of the woods, it is that it will probably be jam packed. Although I think there were some days lately that there weren't that many live streams going on, right? Hey, Mama, that'll watch.
Yeah, it was last week. I think Tuesday and Wednesday, or maybe it was just Tuesday. There
Mm-hmm.
really was nothing happening on,
Mm, it was
in this
quiet.
community, in the true arguing community. There was nothing going on.
Oh yeah,
And
maybe
it
we
was
should
nice.
while we wait, we could maybe talk for just a second about that true arguing community because that's what we talked about last week, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can go back and watch the stream. They're not really long or anything, but we kind of asked where we were and what people call this place. And my preference was for the true arguing community. It has not failed so far. Hey, hey,
Yeah, it
Wicked,
kind
Young
of
Mom.
got reinforced even more, didn't it?
A little bit, yeah. There was some interesting stuff and things that transpired. Um, like I said, it's kind of interesting how much this social media platform is almost a direct reflection of society. Sorry,
Yeah.
but it kind of is.
Yeah. I was thinking that
Uh,
earlier.
so I can give people a few more minutes, but I'll just say the disclaimer. So first of all, I just want we want you guys to know that we know we're not relevant. We don't have every little thing figured out or even every big thing figured out. But we're just trying to figure things out using logic, making decisions based with less emotion, if possible, and using logic. We might get it wrong. So, disagreement with our views is totally welcomed. Also, we're not really here to promote other channels. We definitely don't want to spread hate to other channels, and everybody in this chat is free to express their views. But keep in mind, the views of the chat don't necessarily reflect either my view, Speak Truth with Love views, or the overall uh, idea of the channel. And kind of on that note, what am I talking about here? On that note, we wanted to talk about the fact that it has been a very confusing week. And I just got to say, I'm lost. Does anyone else feel lost? Hey, Mary.
Yeah. I've
And
kind of stayed in a confusing mode or a confused mode for the past week.
a state of confusion. And
Yes.
the back story for me on that is like I could always be confused, right? But so there's so many things going on that it gets to a point where it gets hard to follow, right? Because we're talking about relationships and this breakup or this get back together or this flip flop or this argument or this makeup or you know what I mean, this partnership or and so I get easily lost even if I get recaps from people. Thank you so much. You know who you are. Um but I try to keep up with what's going on so that we can have this channel and talk about that sort of thing. Oh my God, you're semi lost. Thank you. Next.
there's so many storylines there, and they're so convoluted. And normally I'm the one that gives recaps, or
Mm-hmm.
I have been known to be a recapper um in a Discord. And I found myself this week going into Discord and saying, what is going on? I am
Mm-hmm.
so lost. Can I get a recap this time? Because I couldn't follow everything.
Yeah, that's interesting. You got gapped. She says that is confusing, but at least if I ask a question, I'm answered and not jumped on like I'm an idiot. That's good. That's good. You're lost on how two people tie into a situation still. Yeah, and there's a ton of situations, right? And I don't even know if any one person can account for them, but basically, I think there's a remedy to that, in my opinion. Because we were talking about how, let's say that I had to travel for work, to the city or whatever, and work a 9 to 5. Could I follow all this stuff? Do we have people recapping what's been going on in the community? Um,
We're definitely not a recap stream, though,
mhm.
because then we would get into all of the details, and it would just get crazy.
Yeah, it would be crazy. But yeah, so it's hard to follow. My remedy to that, I think, and it's just a novel idea based on what we've been doing here anyway, is to I know a lot of times when people go live, they're mad at the house. They're real mad. It is the true arguing community, right? So they're fired up, they fire up alive. But if they could give a little bit of context to what it is they're talking about, it might help people retrace steps, right?
Yeah, a
That's a
lot of
thought.
times there isn't any context given, and I'm not sure if that's on purpose, because they don't really want to explain everything, or if they're just not thinking about the fact that, oh yeah, not everyone here has a clue what the heck I'm talking about.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not sure which one of those things. Maybe both things are happening.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of
But
both.
if you have a job where you can't listen to YouTube on your job, I actually can. Kind of like I was saying last time, it kind of helps me just um I don't know, concentrate on my job to listen to
Right.
stuff that I don't have to think too much about. So I can, but if you had a job where you couldn't keep up with your YouTube community and you weren't in a Discord, there is
Hmm.
no way that you could keep up with what's going on. And so you would listen to a stream, and you would definitely need context if you could.
Yeah,
More context is helpful.
it is. Even just a little bit, I think. Just a little bit of the background story would be helpful sometimes, some moments like that. But who am I, girl? Who am I? That's just how I feel. I don't know how you guys feel. Uh,
But the craziest part is that I feel like I have listened to everything this week.
yeah.
And except for last night, I wasn't able to listen to any of the streams last night. But all the rest of them, I feel like I caught up on everything, and I'm still confused,
Yeah.
which is, kind of embarrassing. I don't know. Is it my fault?
I don't think it is. I think there's just so many things that happen in the community. It's like, what are you gonna do? You can only follow so many things at one time, and also people have to work and, live their life. I haven't been in any Discord, so you miss everything. I I'm in a couple. I miss everything too. Thank you, Sally Spencer. All right. So yeah, I mean, we're lost. If you can help us out, that would be cool. Next time you go live. It's not actually a request. Do your thing, but it does help your audience, I think, maybe a little bit just to follow the storyline. And maybe they're gonna be more passionate or more engaged in what you're talking about if they understand what it is. I don't know for sure. But I'm still lost.
You Got Gap says she's created a Discord, but she has no clue how to use it.
Yeah.
It's really not hard. Just I know that's easy to say, but once you start using it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And the least complicated you can make it, the better. Rules wise, the fewer rules, the better. I mean, if you're just talking, you know what I mean? You're not
Yeah.
staging raids for a gaming server. This is just a chat with your friends on YouTube. I think. I mean, unless you guys are going to go play DDO or World of Warcraft or something later, which I'm up for that too.
Hey, Thank You Next makes a good point that she's able to keep up with everything by reading the chat. If she were just listening to a stream, she would be confused. So I guess that's a good point. The chat kind of helps the story or helps expand on the story a little bit.
Chat helps the live streams. Like the live stream for me at like the smaller channel level helps push the content so much. And that's why so many people can so easily fire up a live and they can totally play off their audience. So all the people who do feel okay chatting in the chat make the stream that much better. Or if they're allowed to, they can make it that much worse. But yeah, I mean, that's interesting because there's probably side stories going on in the chat that she caught wind of by reading, right? That's what I'm guessing. That's a really good point. So lost, you're looking for your lost Sally. You got Cap. I don't even know how to search people I would like to connect with. Oh no, I'm no gamer. On Discord now, if you know their tag, you don't have to be on a mutual server with them. So you could talk with them if they'll give you their full ID. Which, hey, you love them so much. Hopefully they will. Jen Vaughn says, if a creator exposes screenshots, I try to read them. I have to stop it 50 times. Sometimes I don't even know the players. I'm a slow reader and get caught up in the music and have to restart the video. Hey, you know what? That might be a tactic for views, right? So apparently someone in here really does not like another creator. I'm just going to say right now, you're allowed to say whatever you want, the great knob gobbler. That's fine. But yeah, I can tell you're not happy with that person, and that's okay. But we're not actually discussing individuals. We're talking about ideas, but feel free to. And if any of the mods feel like any of that's getting out of hand, you know what to do.
Yeah, if it gets out of hand, I mean, we definitely want people to express their opinions in the chat. Definitely their opinions about what we're saying and their disagreements about what we're saying. But yeah, if comments about other people get out of hand, the mods will take care of it.
Yeah, because we're not really here to be mean or pick on any individuals, that's for sure. Yeah, so thank you to anybody who is a mod in here and keeping your eye on the chat. Thank you, next. Thank you so much for saying that. Oh, here we go. Well, some people are entitled to feel how they want to feel about people. Oh my God, you guys are funny. All right.
Hey, Natalie K.
Hey, Natalie.
Hey, Casey.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, there's a couple people who actually, that's cool. You guys are catching the live stream. And also, if you like what we're doing here, feel free to share it with people and hopefully they can at least come in and listen and maybe participate. But we have a few things on that note with, it has been confusing, but we have been able to follow some some of the stories, right? Some of the events.
Yep. We were able to process some of what we saw and heard, right?
Yeah. Kind of, at least kind of, so that we understand the overall situation, right? Maybe not the nitty-gritty details, but. And one of those things has been kind of the whole revenge herd mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this week there was a lot of revenge happening, I would have to say. Some creators this week decided to give people some payback. And one of the creators used that word, payback. This is payback. And so what they did was they shared private conversations of people from YouTube in their private groups. And the people were venting and speculating, which, by the way, speculating and theorizing about stuff with your friends is really normal. I do it, right?
Yeah.
So,
So do I. It's all day, every day.
It's not really that juicy. It's not juicy information to me. That's just me. But yeah, so they shared these private conversations of people, doing their venting thing in their groups with their friends. And I understand that the creators, once they received these private conversations, they wanted to see what was being said about them. I get that. There's some people that would be like, no, I don't want to know, which is very healthy. But, out of curiosity, yeah, you might want to find out what was being said about you. But the problem was, to me, the problem is that they shared the conversations in live streams for hundreds or thousands of people to see and know about for the purpose of payback or revenge, as I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Or we're calling it revenge. I mean, because that's what it really seems like. I mean, especially when you use the word payback.
If you say payback, yeah. I heard some blackmail. I heard some payback. I heard some demands. I heard some real confusing stuff where not all the players are known, right? And maybe that's how they want it to be. Maybe they want not all the players to be known. Or there's assumptions about who the players are, which is probably for the best. Because then it's less, I guess, less damaging if not everybody knows who all these people are. Because here's the problem. I seriously have 1,000 subscribers. Okay. Let's say that this happens to me. Somebody decides to make a revenge stream about me. and say, I don't know, whatever. I'm an asshole. I don't know, whatever it is. Um, and here's a call exposing that. Uh, Nobody really knows who I am, dude. Like, and they don't care. For the most part, they just don't care. The only people who do are the people who regularly would come into my streams when I'm having a live stream, which yes, we will talk about vaping this week. I'm gonna set up a live for this week for You Got Gapped, okay? Because I owe you guys a lot. But I digress. You know, I don't know who all these people are, and they wouldn't know who I am. So sometimes if you put context to it that isn't just payback or it isn't just revenge, maybe people will, I don't know, maybe people will feel a little more sympathetic to your story. I don't know. I guess it depends on what your goal is. What's your intended outcome? Just for revenge?
I mean, that's the way it seemed. It
Hmm.
didn't seem to be for, for any productive reasons.
Well, here's a
And
good
I
point.
mean, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, I was going to just say, not a sellout says, how do we trust someone who shares messages on a stream?
Yep. Yeah, I mean that would give me a really bad feeling about that person as far as, confiding in them about anything about myself.
Yeah. It's yeah, it's one of those things where you're gonna have it's kind of like if you meet the guy and you find out he's cheating on his girlfriend and you start dating, it's like, wait a minute. He's gonna do the same thing to you, more than likely. More than
Yeah.
likely. I mean, I think that's a general consensus, right?
But I was going to talk about how uh some people in this chat are aware of it, but you and I have experienced this situation where some creators got private conversations from a group that we're in,
Right.
and the creators shared them in their streams. I mean,
Over and
our
over and over. Yeah.
yeah,
And
our
over.
conversations were their content.
Yeah.
Um, but no one in our group sought revenge against those creators.
Yeah, it's weird. I never heard one person say, "Oh, I'm gonna get in it. I'm gonna figure out what they're talking about." Because the truth of the matter is yeah, while they're talking about you, right, allegedly on a live stream or the part of the group that you're in, but at the end of the day, it's like, why does anybody need to know that? Who cares?
Yeah.
That's like saying that your husband or your boyfriend or your wife or your whatever needs to know every single thing that you talk about. Like, does your best friend or somebody that you interact with at work need to know every single thing that you talked about in a day? Do they need to know? It's so weird to me that people are that nosy. I would
Well,
rather not know if somebody is saying horrible things about me, but that's just me.
that's the thing about, when our conversations were shared, they weren't interesting. I was
Uh-huh.
like, this is the most boring content.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I was biased about it because, it was, from a group that I was in or that I'm in, but I was like, this is just so not interesting.
Uh-huh.
And, it's not like, and it wasn't helpful to the community because it wasn't like uh, crimes were being exposed or, something that the community really needed to
Yeah.
know. Like, these people are really bad because they're doing this thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing interesting or helpful in exposing,
Yeah. Well, I think some people found it interesting, but I think it was
I
more of
guess.
a sit on the edge of your seat and hope you find something horrible. And if anybody feels like any of that was horrible, I'll just say sorry about it. It wasn't. But at the end of the day, the point is, yeah, that's not anything that I would think. Like, I don't want to go in people's discords and read their drivel. It's dumb. It's really stupid for me. But that's because I assume that people are not being like crazy as hell in the Discord. I don't go right now. I don't go around thinking everybody is probably being horrible behind the scenes about me. They might be, but why would they? You know what I mean? Some people, I think they want to know because they feel like people are being horrible about them behind the scenes.
Well, and I was thinking about, why we as a group and individually, when it was done to us, why we didn't seek revenge,
Uh-huh.
and what are the logical reasons to not seek revenge. And, there's always moral reasons to not seek revenge, but the logical reasons I feel like are that, revenge feels good at the time. When you're getting revenge, it feels good. But the problem with revenge is that it comes with consequences,
Uh,
usually, and it usually backfires on you. It
uh-huh.
usually isn't worth it in the end, because you're opening yourself up for more retaliation, for one thing. But another reason why I try not to fall into the revenge trap is that I don't want people to lose respect for me. And I don't
Yeah.
want people to distrust me,
Well,
because
your
I'd
brain doesn't
care.
go there either. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't.
It's just not something that pops into your head like, I'm going to get her. I've been saving this up for a year. I went and I found the record and I got the password. Like, your brain doesn't go there. So I'm sorry. I have to say that, your mindset matters here.
Yeah.
So the real question I think is what people like it. I think people like it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I noticed that too. And another example that I forgot to mention was, uh, there was another creator that basically blackmailed another creator that if they didn't comply with her demands, she was going to pay them back by showing their private picture. And the blackmailer eventually did it. They, you know, I'm calling them the blackmailer, but it's like, if you don't comply with my demands, I'm going to show a private picture of yours.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yep. Yeah.
And what scares me about this revenge mentality that we seem to adopt lately is that and especially in that last example, is that it leads to going real life. I mean, that's what revenge can lead to, because going real life is like the only form of revenge that seems to be
Yeah.
satisfying to people lately. It's like, what's the best way to get revenge? And like, it seems like the best way to hurt somebody is to go real life. Use
That's the
some
problem with
private
upping the
information.
ante. Yeah. That's the problem with upping the ante is that you have to keep getting dirtier and dirtier and eventually, again, you become the thing that you're like fighting against, right? I
And
think.
that's why we're still lurkers in these streams instead of participating.
Yeah. I don't want to be though. I want to talk. Makes people vulnerable when their minds won't go. I was trying to read the rest of your. Okay, she says,
Casey, you got to read Casey's comment.
I always read Casey if I can. Let me find her. I gotta say, I love the lag. I hate the lag so much here on StreamYard, so I apologize. Casey says, yeah, for some it's like a drama orgasm, but to the rest of us, it's like, so are we getting to the climax or not? I think it's pretty much like, probably not. You better bust out Bob because, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that too. False positives. False positives. You've never been in a Discord or Patreon? That okay. That's a good point, Jen. Um, it depends on, and this is why I think that this channel could be cool for everybody, right? Hopefully. Because you get to decide what is okay with you and what isn't. And we're just bringing up these points like, I'm sorry, the blackmailing, doxing, whatever you want to call it, of private stuff, private calls, private picture, those things to me, I don't support. I don't want to support that. I don't even want to give it a view on my premium account. I just don't. But if you guys do, then and that person opens a Discord, then you might have a clue of how they're going to be. Some people are good at hiding it, though. Some people are good at hiding it. So it just depends. Take your chances, man. Get to know people real slow and good before you trust them. Just my personal advice.
So this is the thing that bothered me more than the revenge seeking of the creators. What bothered me was that during these revenge streams, the subscribers were cheering on the payback. They were praising the creator for getting their revenge. And, it made me start thinking about it. I think the reason why creators do this shady stuff is because their friends and subs will support it. And if the subs didn't support it and left the stream, the creator would have to change their type of content.
That's a good point. They'd have to adjust.
And I could be wrong. So if someone says, no, you're wrong. I saw people and they were saying, this isn't a good idea, please correct me. But I just didn't see people disagreeing with this revenge stuff. But hopefully I just missed it. But what I didn't see is anyone in the chat saying, I don't like what was done to you, but it doesn't make it right for you to do it back. Or, hey, don't stoop to their level. Or don't go real life because I'm not for that.
Yeah.
I just, I just didn't see that happening.
I don't know. I keep going back to do unto others. Not what has been done to you, but what you would have done unto you. Do you want that to happen to you? I don't know. As people have to ask themselves that question as an individual. Nobody can make up your mind for you, but if that's what you want to support, that's what you're going to get more of. And that's why we get more of it, because it's very entertaining for people. And it's very highly supported. It makes a lot of money sometimes. People are victims. They could expose or dox someone and the whole time they're a victim. It's crazy.
And, I don't know if people, those people that were, supporting the revenge. I just don't know if they realize that, in my opinion, the revenge and going real life, is going to make our community unsafe. Like you're making the community unsafe for yourself, not just the people that are getting revenge done to them at the moment. It makes everyone more unsafe, in my opinion.
Yep. Because nobody's going to trust anybody. Nobody's going to trust you. Well, they might, right? But they're going to get burned at the end of the day, more than likely. I've had these conversations in private a long time ago. Seeing things coming and just thinking to myself, I should warn my friend about this. That is not always welcome. So you got to let people make their own decisions. Tally Girl has a great question, though. She wants to know, would you be more upset if you found out a supposed friend trashed you in Discord or someone who exposed it publicly? So I think what you're saying is, did the friend trash you in a Discord Would that make you mad, or would you be mad about the person that put it out publicly? That's a good question. Uh, well, I mean, the one thing, the initial trashing in a Discord doesn't necessarily lead to somebody exposing it publicly. So it depends on how close I was to that friend, right? But let's just say I felt like real tight. Like I feel, like me and Speak Truth with Love. I trust her, you know, as much as she could be trusted because I could think I could throw her. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm just joking. But so let's say she trashed me somewhere. Would I be more upset if I found out that she trashed me in a Discord or if someone who exposed it publicly? Well, I probably wouldn't know unless somebody exposed it publicly, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Is
that's
that
the
how you read
point is
that?
like, would you be thankful for the fact that it was exposed? Because otherwise, you would
Mm,
never have found out that this person was trashing you behind your back. But I would
you're right.
prefer that they, if they really felt like something was being said about me that I needed to know about, I would prefer that they reach out to me privately and let me know, hey, you need to know this person is not really your friend. They're talking about you behind your back. I would
Mm-hmm.
not prefer that they expose it to me in a live stream in front of over 1,000 people. You
Yeah.
know, there's
Yep.
ways to, hey, I need to get in touch with this person. You know, we can all eventually get in touch with each other. It's
Yeah.
not that
There's
hard.
email and stuff like that. And people know somebody will know how to get a hold of you or have your channel email or something. See them in a chat. Um, Casey says, for her personally, out of sight, out of mind. In other words, she'd rather people talk shit behind her back than have it to be than have to be publicly humiliated by someone sharing such betrayal to hundreds of people. I gotta say, I would. That's my preference too. That's my preference too. Because why put it out in front of the whole world unless you have an agenda or unless it makes you money, girl? It can make you money. Wait a minute, Whiskey Gypsy. Hey, Whiskey Gypsy. Someone said, "Hey, Whiskey Gypsy. Hey, Eritrea." So this is Speak Truth with Love, and I don't know if you can talk because I have a comment pinned, but we love Whiskey Gypsy, but she's not here that I know of. So this is Speak Truth with Love. But hey, girl in the shower. So
Hey,
yeah, I would
Lori.
have to agree with Casey's sentiment on that. Lori. Lori. Yeah, the betrayal is cringy. I'd rather not know too. Say whatever you want. Girl in the shower says she's sorry. Speak truth with love. She doesn't get butt hurt. Do you? You're not the butt hurt type. She has learned to
Are
tune
you,
me out.
who are
Yeah, I
you
was
talking to
talking to
me?
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get me that upset.
Yeah. But thank you for coming in for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I would rather just have it, be kept on the DL, right? Because then you're not humiliated. But that's a good question. Always an agenda. Even subs have agendas. I think, yeah, of course, right? So I might be a subscriber to a channel, and my agenda is that it's so mindless. I can zone out and listen to what's going on while I do my gardening or clean my house or, whatever. Get baked. Just saying. Um, or it may make me feel like I need to get baked. But yeah, so everybody has an agenda, or it might be that I'm trying to get dirt on the person in the stream. But yeah, it's never the latter. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody.
Amanda Ray is asking about JMac. I don't know anything about that. Maybe somebody in the chat can answer that.
Yeah, I haven't seen him around either. J-Mac, I think I can't speak for him. But what I did witness of his lives it was very much he would go live when he had something to talk about versus just a hangout type thing.
Yeah, he might
Lately,
just be lurking,
you never know.
just like us. Yeah, I think that's basically what Casey's saying. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but yeah, he's probably just lurking.
Yeah, he might be lurking, and everybody's welcome to lurk or type or yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, he's an interesting fellow. I can't believe I just said fellow, but I did. Okay. Yeah, I mean, people get trolled on here sometimes, and we're lucky if we ever see him again. So yeah, I haven't seen him around. So, I think we kind of covered the whole revenge of the herds, the
Yep.
stampedes that came through, and some herd mentality that goes on. People pitchforking it. People can get revved up. We see this in real life right now on the streets. People can get revved up. We see this right now on the YouTube streets. So maybe we can have a little compassion and not get people as revved up, unless that's your point. Some people, they announce it straight up. It's going to be an argument stream. If you don't like it, beat it. And I can respect that too. At least
Yeah.
you're letting me know what to expect a little bit or a lot of it with that. Um, okay. Do I move on?
Yeah, let's talk about, because we encourage people to request topics.
Yes.
And so there was a request made, I think, in the comments of our last video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think someone left a comment, or I don't remember who it was. I'm sorry. It's been a really kind of blurry week. Do you remember?
I think it was testicle.
Okay. So it was probably a comment in the live stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're right. I think it was testicle. Testicle. That name though. Um so I think the suggestion was, and just so you guys know, I had asked if you had a suggestion, for a topic for a future live stream, to leave it in the comments. But it was brought to my attention that some people may be lurkers. That's why they're in the lurkers logic. So if you don't feel comfortable leaving it as a comment, go ahead and send in an email. If you go to the about of the channel now, there is a business contact email. Our business is talking about this business. So feel free to email if you're shy. If you're not, feel free to leave a comment, because that does help us as well with interaction, all that good stuff. So the comment or the suggestion was talking about mods. And I can't remember what the exact recommendation was. Hey, Mrs. Nevins, welcome in. Welcome in. I think it was along the lines of, she said it was on, or they said, because I don't know if you're male or female, testicle, but let's see. Can I find what the comment exactly was? Because I think it was along the lines of moderators potentially harming a channel by being a certain way with panel guests, right? So let's just cut to the chase, being rude. Maybe not being very nice. Did I get it right, testicle, without rereading it? If I did, I'm taking 10 points.
Yeah, they were talking about respecting the creator and not attacking people on the creator's panel, and what else? And clicks, like the mod clicks that they see.
I'm going to say something real quick to girl in the shower. Yes. I say on this one, she wants to know, do you think that paying super chats for the mean things done here encourage more meanness? Yes, absolutely. You're rewarding the behavior, whatever it is, good or bad. Just saying. In my opinion, it is. So. Anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So
We
back
talked
to
about
the
that a little bit in our last stream.
yeah. Yeah, we actually did talk about that. Okay. So back to the mod thing. Let's see, mods in general, and yes, respecting panel guests. So as someone who has a channel, you know, outside of, in addition to this channel with Speak Truth with Love, I thought it would kind of be a good approach to talk about like who mods are. Like who are the mods on a channel? Why do you pick the mods you pick? Who are they? Who aren't they? So the mods on a channel are typically people that you've known from around the community, right? They're typically people that you seem to be trustworthy. They're not people who are doxing people. They're people who are, looking out for the channel creator, somebody that you think is going to have the success of your channel at heart one way or another. They became your friend on YouTube. They've been supportive, you know what I mean? Somebody that you've bonded with on YouTube for some reason. That is your mod. So your mod is somebody who's essentially working for you for free. And all they're really here to do, for the most part, is to participate. Like we have 30 people in here right now, okay? It's very easy for the people that we trust to moderate a chat to make sure that nothing bad happens and ask them to work for free. It's very easy for them to chat and say hi and be friendly and all this sort of stuff. Now, if we had 800 people in here, it might be different. They might just be looking for certain things. It's basically work at that point, right? And when it comes down to it, you have 600 or 800 people in the chat and you have 20 mods. These people are still not machines without feelings, right? So at the end of the day, they are there working, right? They are human beings. They're participating in the stream, but what they aren't is paid. Number one, usually, even though I've heard it mentioned and I don't buy it. But anyway, um, and uh, they're people with feelings, so they're going to feel a certain way about the people that are in the chat, the people who are being discussed, the panel. So we just have a free for all and invite people up. It's I think it's completely up to it obviously is completely up to the channel owner to decide whether or not they think the behavior is happening in their stream from their moderators is good, right? You assume everyone's mods are the ones you're talking to behind the scenes. That's a good point, because at some point, if you have a small channel and you mod the people that you do trust, and there's a handful, right? It can come off looking clicky, where it's like you go in a chat, 90% of the people are blue, not 100, right? And it's a click.
Yeah, I mean, usually there's a percentage of your mods that are people that you talk to behind the scenes. And then, other times it's just people that you've grown to trust because you see them around or they come to your streams and, they're faithful subscribers or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I know it seems cliquish, but in light of, in some cases, it seems cliquish, but in light of the atmosphere of backstabbing that we're in, it doesn't surprise me, that people, they have a circle and that circle gets smaller and smaller, and then they don't grow their circle of friends because you can't trust anybody. And when you do, the person that you kind of let into your Discord or whatever ends up being there for malicious reasons. So that's really, in my opinion, that's the why there is the click thing going on.
Yeah. I think it's kind of just the way it is. I mean, personally, I think that is very hard if I had, let's say, moderators in my channel and I was having an open panel where the moderators were going at the jugular on my panel guests, that would be difficult. If I had a lot of people in the chat, I wouldn't be able to necessarily address it very fairly. So I kind of cut creators slack on that unless the creator is encouraging it. If the creator is encouraging the person with the wrench to be an asshole, then I, you know what I'm gonna say on that. I'm not interested at that point because it's just not cool. You
And you're
want people to feel
saying,
safe to come on your channel. Why would you
right.
allow the moderators to just dig into them? You know what I mean?
But I think that the problem is that you want your mods to feel like they can be honest about their feelings, and you don't want them to feel censored just
Mhm.
because they have a wrench. Okay, well, now I have to censor
Mm.
myself and I can't say what I really think.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like what we're asking in our chat. If you disagree with us or you want to talk about something in the community, just don't be hateful about it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like, if your mod disagrees with someone or doesn't like someone on your panel, just don't be
Mm.
hateful. Just disagree without being an asshole.
Mm. Yeah. Well said. As usual, it is a fine line. It really is. Thank you. Next. I know. British Shippy says sometimes you're spoken to a little shittier than those that have formed friendship groups and are popular on here. That's true. That's true. I can relate to that very much. I'm sorry that happens, but I can relate to that. I totally get it. Tyler Girl says sometimes in big chats the creator will only interact with the mods, not subs. Gosh, I've sat in so many live streams where the creator never interacts with the chat at all because they got so many people in there, they could barely even see the super chats. They might not even care about the super chats. But yeah, it gets like that. It gets like that. And yeah, I mean, respectfully disagreeing is you know, it's kind of the adult thing to do. But I don't know if that fits in with the true arguing community. So we're leaving it up to you to decide what you like.
So, Testicles in here, and
Yeah.
they're making the point that so someone has an issue with them in a stream, and then they go into another stream. Now that person that has an issue with them has a wrench, and so they time them out.
Person
And the
on
thing
another chat.
about
Okay.
it is that the creator might not know
Yeah.
why that person is,
Nah.
let's call it revenge modding. So the creator doesn't know that they're
Uh-huh.
revenge modding, and so they're probably going to think, oh well, unless they have a chance to look at it, they're going to think, oh well, Testicle must have said something inappropriate or hateful, so their comment got deleted.
Yep.
And
Yeah, because
so
you don't know.
that's
You can go
it's
back, in fairness,
hard.
you can go back and check. But if the chat is really moving, it can be hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's hard for the creator to police that, unless they're looking at the deleted comments very carefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I can do, but if I had 1,000 people in my chat, I wouldn't necessarily be able to. But that's a skill, and you build it up like a callus. The bigger your chat gets, the better you probably get at that sort of thing. British Chippy surprised. Okay, Kiki is doing that thing she used to do when I was a noob for you. She's
Yeah.
unplugging things. It's pretty awesome. So let's just go back to the chat here because now I can't get it fixed. Thank you, Kiki. Okay, British Chippy said, I lost the comment. Spoken to. I think I lost the the comment, and I just pinned it, didn't I? Okay. I'm surprised my eyes still facing forward. They rolled so many times. Yeah, I mean, that happens. Sorry to make a big deal out of that one. It's just because Kiki decided to roll up. You say that person's wrench was pulled. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, people should, as long as people know about it, and you can let the creator know too. Hopefully. Not once you get banned or something or blocked, right? Hey, Brian, welcome in. Welcome in, Kiki. She's still banging. Um, so yeah, I mean, definitely I think from my point of view, it gets difficult too because sometimes I've just not talked in chats because of who the mods were. I'm like, that person's gonna instantly terminate me. But that's a personal choice that everybody makes, I think. Hopefully there's less revenge modding and less people just being mean for the sake of being mean in a chat to somebody because they didn't like what they said elsewhere. But we'll see. We'll see what the community likes. You guys are driving this thing, right? All of us are driving this thing. So it's kind of ultimately up to what we're willing to accept. Mm-hmm. Trigger happy mods. Yep. It happens. So if you find that here, you have our email. You can let us know. Okay, Brian. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Um, so yeah, I mean, thank you for that recommendation. It is something to that, we have to think about on a regular basis. And we can talk about changing wrenches and, that whole situation another time. But it can happen.
And if you're revenge modding, you shouldn't be
Just
because
stop,
that's
man.
not fair to the creator that you're modding for.
Yeah. It isn't. And
So
the mods are the people that you bring in that are there and they want success for you, right? Supposedly. So that's what you mean by that. It's not fair to the chat. It's not fair to the creator. They'll just don't mod.
our revenge modder is the potty mouth mama, and we allow that. I'm kidding.
She gets a pass because she's funny as hell. Just kidding. Pew pew. Okay, Natalie says at times I tried to participate in chat, but the creator only reads the well-known subs or friends comments. So I feel stupid and revert to lurking. That happens too. Are these huge chats we're talking about? I mean, I hope so. That's another thing. You know what? Don't feel stupid. I would give you that
Yeah.
advice. Don't feel stupid. Sometimes people just don't see things. So
Yeah,
sometimes people are taking
Natalie,
things personally.
like I am not good at listening to Eritrea and reading the chat at the same time. So I just wonder if anyone else is like me when it comes to that. So yeah, I try not to, I try not to ignore anybody, but I suck at reading the chat. And definitely there are some names that stick out because I am familiar with them. And so, their names stick out just out of familiarity.
Like testicle.
Yeah, or Mrs. Nevins. I've known Mrs. Nevins for a long time, so her
Yeah.
name always sticks out.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep.
what else do we want to discuss besides mods?
I would like to say testicle. You're exactly right. Without the subscribers, you don't have a channel. It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. So, I think I just want to briefly touch on something because we have a little segment that we're going to do at the end, and we're going to try to do it every single time that we go live, which will be weekly on Mondays. So far, so good, in my opinion. But I wanted to touch on the whole leaving YouTube thing before we do the last bit of the segment. Don't leave because we got a couple things. that we have a couple people that we want to give kudos to, okay? And we'll explain that in just a second. But I wanted to talk about this whole leaving YouTube thing. And sorry about that. Apparently, somebody really needs to talk to me for some reason. Told you I was going live. Um, so, the whole notion of leaving YouTube is interesting. It's kind of like the people that did all those videos for a period of time, why I'm leaving BuzzFeed. Like everybody kind of gets hyped up. They might come in, they might ask you not to leave and all that sort of stuff. And sometimes people really are leaving YouTube. They really need a break. They need to take a time out. They don't know how long it's going to be and all of that. But I'm going to tell you, and I know you know it because I know you do the same thing. When you do that, when you go live and you say, I'm leaving YouTube, or I'm not doing this anymore. And then you come right back and you do it again. It continues to lose its value. People stop believing you because you keep saying you're leaving YouTube, but nobody really ever leaves YouTube. And recently, people have left YouTube and returned in a month or a day. Like they full on said they were absolutely done. They quit, stick a fork in them, they're done. And then they're like back in a day or two, you know? So I just wanted to say that I'm sorry, but when you say that, what ends up happening, and you know it because you do the same thing. People laugh. They make bets about how many days it's going to be before Eritrea comes back. She quit again. She has quit YouTube again. So, go ahead and say you're leaving YouTube, right? Or buy Cruel World. But if you do it on a regular basis, just know people are making a joke out of it behind, your back. They're laughing at it and they're not going to believe you.
Especially like if you've done it before. It's like,
Yeah.
Isn't this like your 10th time of leaving YouTube?
Yeah. Oh, you announced your departure from a chat out the door the other day and did the whole walk out the door, hear someone whisper something, and bounce back in to argue somewhere. It's kind of like that. The ones that announce never stay on. I think that if I just permanently was going to turn off, I mean, I would have to. But come on. And Brian is again leaving YouTube. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Oh, he's back. Brian.
Man, he didn't even let 60 seconds pass before he came back.
Yeah, nobody even got a word in sideways.
No one even got to laugh before he came back.
No, I laughed when
he take a bet.
Yes, I laughed
when he was coming back.
Okay, Brian, you're gonna have to leave again. Don't come right back. I'm kidding.
He needed a 50-second break from YouTube. Okay.
He did. He says straight up he needed a break. Whiskey's out of here. Can't take it anymore. Whiskey! How you doing? Leave for breaks all the time, but you're always coming back. See, that's the thing too. If you're taking a break and you say, hey, I got to take a break. I'll be back. I don't know when. I'm expecting you to be gone a couple weeks, maybe a week or two. Not a day. But that's just me. Do you, boo? I don't know what you guys think.
The funniest one is the person in our community that says, and there could be multiple people that say this, but they say, I don't want to be here, but you guys keep bringing me back. Like I have to come back because of what you're doing, but I wish I could just leave forever. And I mean, it cracks me up every time. Like I cannot take this seriously. If you want to leave, you can leave, and then you don't exist in the community anymore. So it doesn't matter what anyone in the community is saying about you because you don't exist anymore.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. Okay. When you X out of YouTube, you might have contacts or whatever that have your phone number whatever with that, or
Right.
Discord or whatever that might let you know what's going on. But you can bounce. Like you don't even have to. You don't have to answer it. That's like saying if uh, somebody asks you for $50, you have to give it to them. You don't. You don't have to care. You don't have to respond. You don't have to come back just because whatever. Whiskey was lurking. Okay, good. You don't tell people, you just take the break. Exactly.
Hey, Crazy
Uh,
Gemini.
Hi, Crazy Gemini. Sorry, I'm behind on the chat because I'm trying to pin things. All right. Well, don't let them do that, Brian. Exactly, testicle. Nobody needs to know that your Tony's pizza rolls are done. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe they do. It just depends on how tight you are. Those are the ones that need to hear all that begging to stay. There's a lot of that too. Everyone wanted me to come back. That's interesting.
That's
Your
the only
Tardos is
reason why I
lurking.
came back, was that everyone wanted me to.
Keep trying to get rid of the potty mouth mama. She ain't never leaving. I don't know. I feel like there's so many weirdos, but there's so many good people in the community. And I mean, I just don't know what people are tired of and what they're not. I know what I got exhausted from, what wore me down and made it not fun for me. And so I think it's really cool to see people, having ideas about or having a input on what it is that they like and what it is that they don't like and what it is that they want to put their time or their money behind, right? Because your time is more precious than cash. But hey, Morgs, welcome in. It is very exhausting sometimes. You're taking a huge step back. Yeah, I had to do so too. People question it. Please don't question it. It's about me. Don't question it. It's about me. But that being said, we're going to have a vape chat soon. So, on that note, we wanted to do a segment on the show. Um, and this is full credit where credit's due. Speak truth with love. She likes to make sure that she calls out, gives a shout out, gives kudos to people who contribute something positive or make a good point that maybe can help educate or alert the community. And so this is kind of her segment.
Yeah. Well, this week, I wanted to point out Marsha White Sharky, for she
Yay.
encouraged her subs to call her out when she is wrong. And that
Yeah.
really stuck out to me because, that's what we were talking about a little bit ago, is that when the creator is doing something that you don't think is a good thing, like seeking revenge and going real life, you should call them out on it. And I didn't see that happening this week. And so then, later on in the week, Marsha was encouraging her subs. She's like, call me out when I do something wrong. Don't sit in my chat and just agree with me for the sake of I'm sorry, don't sit in my
Don't
chat and
agree with
agree
me.
with me. Yeah, don't agree with me just, to suck up, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's called adulting and being teachable, but
yeah,
it deserves a shout out and some kudos because we don't see it all the time. Some people just can't handle some feedback. So
yeah.
thank you, Marsha.
And the other thing too is that we want to encourage feedback from the people in our chats too. So it really stuck out to me, and I was glad that she said that.
Yeah.
And then the other person that I wanted to give kudos to was Mona
Whoop, whoop.
KW.
Mona KW. Whoop, whoop.
And full disclosure, we know Mona personally, but and so we know how she is. She's hilarious, and she's really an extremely nice person. A lot of people probably think that she's a troll,
Yeah.
But she's not. She's really not a troll, um, even though she's good at it. But
Yeah.
so I wanted to, give her some credit for being in Tiffany Marie's stream this week with Makeup Monster on panel. And she was in their chat disagreeing with them. I mean, she was disagreeing with them point by point, but there was nothing hateful in
Mm.
the way that she was disagreeing with them.
Yeah.
And she was just making, I felt like she was making intelligent points. But the best part of it was that she was hilarious, like the stuff that she says. And maybe it's just because I know her personally, but, just if you're going to be in a chat and you're going to disagree, don't be hateful.
Yeah.
And if you can be funny on top of it, that's great.
It is.
That's a plus,
And she is freaking hilarious. That's the problem with Mona. There's never enough Mona to go around because she's hilarious. And also, she can be misinterpreted. I've had to tell people before,
Yeah.
if you ever talk to her for 10 seconds, there's never hate there. There's never hate there. So, anyway, kudos to Mona. Shout out to Mona. Nice.
And then the other person that I wanted to give credit. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to give credit to Tiffany Marie in the same stream for letting Mona KW comment in her stream, even though Mona was disagreeing with her in Makeup Monster. And I think she deserves credit for that because, it can be annoying to have someone disagreeing with every point you make,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of creators here that will not allow someone to disagree with them in their stream. And so, I just wanted to point that out as a positive thing that Tiffany did. I'm not saying that Tiffany was nice to Mona. But they still allowed her to be there and disagree.
Yeah.
And so, and so I enjoyed that, and I appreciated that.
So Ash is making her little face. Here's the thing, you guys can totally disagree with us. I think Chippy's rolling her eyes too. And that's okay. We're not gonna be offended by that. But I mean, it's important, right? Because there's so many lines in the community that have been blurred that I don't know who's on what side of what anymore most of the time. So we get it. Not everybody's gonna love each other, and that's fine. But even it's kind of like the whole I got the feedback on the vaping sounds. The person who recommended it, doesn't love me so much, but it was still, I appreciate the feedback. So the same goes in this situation because she allowed Mona to express herself and, didn't automatically become defensive. Is that what you were saying? Like she wasn't defensive about it. She allowed her to have a debate with her in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, they allowed some debate and they addressed, some of the things that she said. And like I said,
yeah,
they weren't nice, okay, but they still allowed disagreement.
Yeah,
and
I gotcha.
That's one of the things that we're encouraging here is disagreement with us in our chat, as long as it's not overtly hateful. And if you can be hilarious like Mona, that's a plus.
Yeah. And that might get you a better response too. Someone says they are rude to Mona a lot, though. Right? They are nasty to Mona a lot. Well, that's their prerogative to be nasty to Mona. Don't be nasty to Mona. Mona's probably going to give you some good feedback, but hey, that's your
and Mona can take
option.
it.
Yep.
Mona can take it. She doesn't get upset.
Yeah. And she likes to speak on what she thinks is right, what she thinks is fair, and you might disagree with it, and that's fine. It's your channel, man. All right, so let's see. Hi, Meerkat. Welcome in. I think we are wrapping it up. Do we have any other things we wanted to say? I know I want to talk a little bit briefly about, again, just a reminder, We're not here for money. We're not getting paid on this channel. We want to do it because we want to talk about ideas and the things that are happening in the community in a way that maybe we can learn from, right? And we can decide what and who and how and whatever, who we want to support and how, and what we're willing to accept as viewers, right? Where you want to invest your money and time. So that being said, if you feel comfortable enough to chat in the chat, thank you for being here and chatting in the chat. If you don't, then and you have a suggestion for a topic that you'd like us to cover, go to the About Me of the channel. There's a business email contact. It's going to be checked probably on a weekly basis by one of us. I don't know which one of us. Could be both. Never know. So that being said, just send ideas, topical things that you want brought up on this channel there. If you don't feel comfortable leaving it in a comment. Hi, Lanky Tor. Welcome in. Welcome in. But hopefully Monday nights is working for Speak Truth with Love so far. I think it seems to be working for the chat, although other people do go live sometimes while we're live. So we do thank you for spending your time here with us. Did you have anything that you...
Ash
what?
is going to smack. Ash 274 is going to smack Brian.
Oh, he'll love it.
She's cracking me up.
Yeah, it's not a problem. He'll like it. He'll like it.
Yeah, no, I think that's it. I think we covered all the things we've been thinking about and talking about with each other.
Yeah, and if you guys have, again, I mean, if you interact with the channel in a comment, that helps us, right? Also, if you have people that you think might not love us so much, but they may see some value in the content, if you would please share the stream. That would be awesome. And if not, thanks for being here either way. You don't see the email. Is it just my phone? It might be because, we have to do this little spam coverage thing that YouTube gives us, but it is brookerslogic@gmail.com. Let's see, did I type that right? I think I did. There you go. That's the email. And if while you make a suggestion, if you don't want your YouTube screen name or anything mentioned, let us know. We can keep you private. And, I know you're taking a chance on us, but based on these 3 streams we've done so far, hopefully you feel comfortable enough to send in an email if you'd like to. Yeah, if you'd like to suggest a topic, something you notice in the community. You can contribute. All you have to do is send an email or leave a comment, Michelle. You're already contributing in the chat. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, who said that?
Michelle.
About the email. No, Morgs. That's a new name. Hey, Morgs. I don't think I've seen her name before.
Oh, Morg's been around.
Oh, really?
Just took a little break, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she was asking about the email.
Yep, and it's right here. Boom. But I think she thinks maybe on her phone it's not visible. I'll check that too. But it is in the About Me, and it is hidden in that you have to click something that's covering it up so that spam bots can't grab it. Because for some reason, spam bots like teeny tiny channels. I don't know why.
Oh, and I wanted to say hi to Sarah. I haven't talked to her in a while. I'm just looking at the chat because I can finally read the chat. All right. I think that's it.
Hi, Sarah. Yeah,
thanks everybody for coming. And thanks for hanging out. Yeah. And also thank you to the lurkers.
Yes. Shout out to the lurkers.
And the mods.
And the mods, always the mods. And all the people who come to chat and be a lurking fool tonight. Yes, we know. Potty mouth mama. Hey man, we appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you so much for your participation. And I think we're gonna see you next Monday at the same time on the same channel. Yes, you too, Lanky. I'll be live on my channel this week. I'll be live. So sorry I missed you too. But see you guys later. Speak truth with love.
Good
Sing
night.
us out. No song? Okay.
No.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a great week. And be kind, maybe.
Bye, Ash.
Bye.